The Denver Broncos are playing the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow morning, and unfortunately, the team will be without two starters in uniform. All right, that's Sean Payton speaking after the Broncos had a win today against the Los Angeles Chargers. Final score 16-9. Now, Sean Payton said that it's important to win, period. And if you're wondering why the Broncos won't make it to the playoffs again this season, here's why. I want you to take a look at this. The Broncos lost 4 games at home, and all of those losses were to teams with losing records. For the first time since 2013, CU's men's and women's teams are in the NCAA tournament, and so are CSU's men's basketball team. Now, both the men's team will have to take the long road in order to get to the main bracket, as they were 2 of the last 4 teams in the tourney. And because of that, the Buffs and the Rams will play in the first 4 games in Dayton. The Avs' 4-game East Coast road trip made a stop in Boston. Now, there's only one problem for the good guys. The Boston Bruins haven't lost a home game this year. Just take a look at the Big Ten championship game that was shown right here on CBS. And that game between Iowa and Nebraska was the most watched women's basketball game in 25 years. Get this, at one point, there were 4.4 million viewers nationwide. All the Power 5 conferences also reached new highs in fans watching their games and also in ticket sales. At home, CU has seen an increase in almost an average of 4,000 fans in the stands compared to last year, and their impact is being felt by the next generation of Hoopers. It was a room filled with electricity. Deion Sanders, better known as Coach Prime, was introduced as the newest head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes football team. Before the NFL legend spoke, he held up his black and gold number 21 jersey with the words Coach Prime on the back. Then he got to business. Sanders describes himself as an old-school coach that is going to create a winning mentality.
Deion Sanders wasn't that good last year as a coach. It is what it is. But this year he has finally started to settle in as a coach and started to get better at the FBS level. And so he's really improved in that area. There hasn't been a lot of defensive breakdowns that we have seen from last year. But this is the main thing this season with the Bucs right now. Last year they had a tough loss against Stanford where they were up 29-0 at halftime and then lost that game. And ever since then, they went in a tailspin and weren't able to go and get back on track and win from there. Can the Bucs be able to do so coming off of a tough loss against Kansas State? Can they come back on the road against Arizona, a team that's reeling right now, having lost their last 2, and be able to come and win this game? If the Broncos do win on Sunday, it'll be their first 4-game winning streak since 2016. Yeah, the first 4 games of that season. So hopefully the Broncos, just like these clouds, can be able to get the job done and make it look good in the process. Deion Sanders would definitely be that guy. And what we know now is where that contract has started for Deion Sanders. His sources have confirmed to me that the contract starts at least $5 million, and it could go up from there. Coach, your team started off in the first quarter on the first drive, was able to drive down in a field goal, had a little bit of some hiccups from there. What would you like to see from your team soon?
No, just consistency.
One of the biggest questions for Washington State will be what will happen to them next year. As you know, Washington State and Oregon State are the only 2 teams left in what was the Pac-12. His team is 1 or 2 plays away from making things happen on the field right now. So we'll see what type of adjustments he made at halftime going into the second half. The hope here is that fans will celebrate a possible Stanley Cup championship tonight like they did when the Broncos won the Super Bowl back in Super Bowl 50 in 2015, and not like when the Avs first won the Stanley Cup in 1996. Your team's up by 26, but you left a lot of points on the board right now. What are you looking for in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think one of the biggest things we worked on in the offseason was finishing in the fourth quarter.
This is a team that lost 11 games, won at 11 last year, and they look terrible doing it. So to see them go on the road to TCU and get a huge W just puts nothing but a huge smile on my face. Right now, as we speak, the Broncos are unveiling their new uniforms. And if you don't know how the old ones used to look, this is how the uniforms look back in 1996. Remember this logo right here? If you have tickets to get to the game today, make sure you're in your seats at 4:45. That's when all the celebration inside will go. But if you're outside, make sure that you're able to shoot some threes. Alrighty! Field goals won't be the Chiefs this week because you have to score touchdowns. So with that in mind, I recruited my 18-month-old son just to show the Broncos just how easy it is to get into the end zone. Check it out. All right, son, this week the Broncos are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're not going to beat them if they're just kicking field goals, okay? So you got to show them how it's done. Run to mama, get into the end zone. Run to mama, go, go, go. All right, touchdown. There you go, son. Woo, there you go. I told you how to do it. Yes.